Hello and welcome to another product demonstration video from Longhorn Tactical. Today we will be taking a look at the Olight Baldr Mini and Olight Baldr S. The Olight Baldr Mini and Baldr S are both the compact variety of Olight's well-received pistol lights, where there is a green laser built into the exit of the reflector inside of the flashlight lens. However, upon cursory examination, you might find yourself thinking, what is the real difference? Well, first, the Baldr Mini is just a hair shorter at 2¼ inches in length, whereas the Baldr S is just shy of 2½ inches, so about 1/4 inch in difference. The height and width of both lights are essentially the same. When viewed from the side, you could see some stylistic differences. The Baldr Mini has a side profile that is completely flush, whereas the Baldr S has a top portion like the eaves of a roof that extend slightly out. And there's a shelf that overhangs right here from the side of the body. Additionally, the Baldr Mini has two very small cuts that run along the top and bottom of the entire side. Furthermore, the uppermost shelf of the Baldr Mini runs all the way from the rear to the front, where it flows down into the lens hood. The Baldr S runs from the rear to the side of the body, and the lens hood is purely cylindrical. The primary difference between the Baldr Mini and Baldr S is in lighting capability. Now, both of these rail lights use the same LED and have the same reflector depth. I believe it's the internal circuitry that accounts for the difference in max illuminance. The Baldr Mini is capable of a 600 lumen max, that is its only setting, whereas the Baldr S is capable of an 800 lumen max, but also has a 100 lumen low setting. Here is the Baldr Mini and Baldr S mounted on the same weapon, the same distance away from the wall. Olight advertises both lights with a maximum beam throw of 130 meters or 142 yards, and 4,225 and 4,400 candela respectively. Thus, if your main deciding point is brightness factor, both lights are comparable and should function within very similar ranges. The primary benefit of the Baldr Mini is simplicity. You will always know exactly what brightness it will activate on, whereas the Baldr S gives you the option between the brighter light and dimmer light. Here is how to mount the Baldr Mini and the Baldr S. The quick detach lever is locked when pointed towards the switches, and unlocked when pointed towards the reflector. First, unlock the lever. Here are the two rail clamps. The rail clamp on the opposite side of the quick detach lever is the actuating side. First, align the rail slot with the rail tooth, and then the actuating side, I like to hook it onto the rail on that side, and then push, and it should clamp into place. Once the light is on the rail, you can push and pull the bottom portion of the main body of the light to your preference. Some people like having the butt of the light flush against the trigger guard, so that the light controls are closer and easily accessible. Some people like having it a bit further away. When the light is situated in the desired position, lock the quick detach lever. Here is the operation guide of the Baldr Mini and Baldr S. Both Baldrs have a sliding switch on the bottom of the light towards the rear that gives you the option to set it to light only, light plus laser, and laser only. As a right-handed shooter, I can easily actuate the slide switch with my middle finger of my right hand, while my trigger finger is in the standby position. However, I can only push the button over. I can also use the index finger of my support hand to pull the switch towards the other side. Or I could pivot my support hand slightly and use my thumb to push the switch towards the light side mode. Of course, the light controls on both the Baldr Mini and Baldr S are ambidextrous and exist on both sides of the trigger guard. I like to move my index finger from the resting position down to activate the light with my right hand, or I can pivot my support hand and drop my thumb to activate via the left switch. Both switches on either the Baldr Mini or Baldr S will be considered as momentary if held for more than 1 second. and will deactivate once pressure is relieved from the switch. For constant on, tap either switch. Tap again to deactivate the light. The only difference in operation is that the Baldr S can be double tapped to switch to the other brightness setting. This setting is saved so the light will activate and deactivate on low mode, if that is what you use last, and high mode, if that is what you use last. Both Baldr Mini and Baldr S come with a powerful green laser for fast and rapid target acquisition. Here is how to adjust the green laser sight on your Baldr Mini or Baldr S. With the lens pointing away from you, on the right side you will find two small holes. One is labeled LR for left to right, and one is labeled UD for up to down. Now, I'm going to just try to loosely do it here for demonstration purposes, and try to keep it between these two lines 15 and 16. Whereas I would recommend doing this for real with a shooting rest. Sandbags also work really great for keeping it as still as possible. So first, you want to fire off a shot, and then mark your point of impact. And then, with the weapon, hopefully still stationary and not moving, adjust the elevation first, and then the windage adjustment as well. Oh, I just jerked there for a second. Sorry. And that would be how you adjust your green laser sight on your Baldr Mini and Baldr S. The final major difference between the Baldr Mini and the Baldr S lie in their internal battery size. The Baldr Mini has a 230 mAh internal lithium-ion battery, whereas the Baldr S has a 380 mAh internal lithium-ion battery. Both can be charged via the included proprietary Olight magnetic charging cable, which snaps onto the bottom of the light. I have always found this to be incredibly convenient because you do not have to remove your light from your rail to charge it. Both the Baldr Mini and Baldr S have this small LED indicator on the left side of the body, which will flash red when the battery needs charging. So, in summary, slightly bigger and slightly heavier, but not noticeably. Bigger battery, but also a higher max brightness, which means both of them have nearly identical runtimes. However, this one has a low mode. That concludes the product demonstration video of the Olight Baldr Mini and Olight Baldr S, two rechargeable rail-mountable weapon lights with green laser sight that can be quickly attached and detached from your handgun. The Baldr Mini and Baldr S are available at LonghornTactical.com. If you have enjoyed this video or think I am a big dumb fart, please leave a comment or suggestion below. To stay up to date on future product releases from brands such as Olight, Phoenix, Nikkor, and more, sales announcements, and all things flashlight related, please consider subscribing to the Longhorn Tactical YouTube channel. And thank you.